Hello, everyone. Welcome to the ClubRunner on the Go session. My name is Michael, and I'm joined today by Shawn. So today we'll be discussing the ClubRunner mobile application, which will let you essentially take the entirety of your club and district information with you on the go via your mobile device. So these are the things that we'll be talking about today. So we'll be going over things like how you can go about downloading the mobile application, and any special requirements that may be needed as well. And we'll also be going over things, all the various different features of the mobile application. So as you can see, we have things like a full club directory, as well as things like your club information. So this will include upcoming events, any new club news or stories that your club has put out. And we'll also have features like attendance tracking as well. So for those of you who do like to make sure that your attendance records are high, watch out for that feature as well. We also do have a couple of different features available for district information as well, and we'll be going over that. And towards the end, if we do have any spare time, we will having a short Q&A session as well. So before we get started, I did just want to have a quick poll run for you guys, just so we can gather some information on how you guys feel about the mobile app currently, and how and what we can do to make sure that you guys enjoy it. So getting started, there are various things that you can do, or there are mobile apps available via multiple different sources. So primarily this will be the Google Play Store for Android devices, and for iOS or iPhone devices, this will be on the Apple App Store as well. And just in case I forgot to mention, it is completely free for you to use. As long as your information is on ClubRunner, you'll have this information on your phone. So for both Android and iPhone devices, it is important to know that there are a couple of requirements. So for example, on Android devices, you will require to be using an Android version 4.1 or newer, while on iOS or iPhone devices or tablets as well, you'll need iOS 9.3 or newer. So these versions of these softwares are somewhat old. So any newer devices should have no problem, but it is important to note as well. So we're going to go ahead and we're just going to jump right into it. We're going to go about showing you how you can download the mobile application. So I'm just going to get that pulled up for you very quickly.
And while Michael is doing that, I just want to step in and just to reiterate some of the things that Mickey had mentioned. So if you do have any questions during the session, please include them in the Q&A box. If you do want to chat with other attendees, please use the chat box. Just note when you are using the chat box, please make sure that you set the to option to all panelists and attendees. If you have it just set to all panelists, not everyone will see it. So please take note of that. It looks like Michael is ready, so I'll pass it back to you, Michael.
Thank you very much, Shawn. So for today, for this demonstration, we will be using an Android device. But for the most part, if you're using an iPhone or an iPad, the process is very similar. It's just you just need to go into the App Store as opposed to the Google Play Store. So for us, we do have an icon for our Google Play Store right here down at the bottom. If you do not have that icon, you can scroll, or you can bring up your application drawer, and you should be able to find it in here as well. As you can see, we have our Play Store right here. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to click on, or tap on, I should say, the Google Play Store icon. And up at the top of the screen, you can see we have a search bar. We can go ahead, just tap on the search bar and type in ClubRunner. And we can see that the first option here is available. But just in case that doesn't appear for you, if you go ahead and you finish your search and click enter, you'll find that the ClubRunner mobile app should be one of the first few options on this page. You'll know you'll have the right one if you see that there is that blue icon with the CR text on there as well. So just go ahead and tap on that ClubRunner option. And we do currently have it installed already, but if you do not, you'll have the green box that says install. All you need to do is click on that button, and it will download and install the application to your device for you. And then once that's been done, you'll have these two options, uninstall and open. You can either click open, or we can go back to our homepage, and you'll find that icon on your homepage. Some devices may not automatically have it there, but again, if you go into your application drawer, you'll be able to find it there as well. So just tapping on the icon will bring us this login page, if you haven't used it before, where you'll be able to enter your username or your password. If you guys don't happen to remember your username or password, it is the exact same information that you would use when logging into the ClubRunner onto your club's website via a desktop computer or a laptop or something along those lines. It's the same login information. If you don't remember it, that's perfectly fine. You can go ahead and tap on retrieve login/reset information here down at the bottom. You'll be brought to this page where you can enter in your email address as well as your last name. And once you click on that send email button, an email will be sent to your email address where you can go ahead and you can reset your information. Once you have your login information, you can go back and you can just enter in your information as you would normally. So I'm just going to get logged in here. And once you have your information typed in, just click on sign in. And then once you're done signing in, it will start loading. If this is your first time opening up the application, it may take longer than usual to load everything, but once you have that initial set of data, you'll be good to go. So as you can see here, we have a list of all of our different club members in our club, and we have just about everyone. And if we go ahead and we tap on one of these members, we'll bring up their information. So for here, we can see we have all of Erica Arp's information. If we go back, we can click on Vera Barbosa, and we'll have their information as well. So this is essentially your entire club directory. You can go through this list and you can find any contact information or any other information that these members have included in their profile, just at the touch of your fingertips, essentially. And I wanted to note very quickly that all of this information is available to your club members at any point, but you can choose to hide some of this information if you don't feel comfortable sharing this information with the public or with members of the members of your club or your district. If you don't want your information being shown on the application or shared with club members in general, you can log into the desktop website and you can go into your member profile and change your privacy options. So that way you can hide some of this information if you wanted to. So I'm just going to go through all the various features of a single profile. So as you can see here for Vera, we have their phone number, their email address, as well as their home address. If you see these icons here, so for example, for your phone, we'll have a small phone icon. For her email address, we have a small mail icon, and then we have a quick sign down here for their home address. Clicking on these icons will quickly bring up the information for that field into another application on your device. So for example, clicking on this mail icon here for Vera, it will bring up our mail application. So we can very quickly send them an email from our device just by clicking on that icon. So, and it'll work exactly the same way. Oops. Let's see here. So it'll work exactly the same way for these various different icons here as well. So for example, if we were to click on the home address, we will be brought to our dialer application. So we can go, it'll enter in their number and we can select whether we want to give them a call or send them a quick text message. And I did want to note this may look different on some devices compared to others. We are using an emulator right now just to make sure that, just so we can stream it out to you guys. But this may look slightly different depending on your device. So if we go back to ClubRunner, there we go. So we're going back to ClubRunner, and you may have also noticed that there is this Add Contact button down at the bottom. Clicking on this Add Contact button will do exactly what it sounds like. It will take all of the information that this member has within their member profile, and it will add it to your contact list or your record books for your mobile device. So just tapping on it, and you'll get this message: contact created in an address book. So all the information is now saved on your device, accessed for your regular contact list at any time. So if we want to go back, we can click on this back arrow right in the top left corner, and it will bring us right back to that contact list. And I wasn't sure, I'm not sure if I mentioned this earlier. Once the information is downloaded on the mobile application, it will be saved to your device so that you can access it whenever you need, even if you don't have an active internet connection. If you're connected to the internet, it will refresh and it will make sure that everything's updated. If for any reason that it doesn't appear to be doing that and you do have an active internet connection, in this top blue bar at the top, you'll see this little circle icon with the arrows. If you click on that, it will refresh all of your data and make sure that you have the most up-to-date information. So this is our club directory. This is kind of the big one for the mobile app, but there is a lot more that we can do with the mobile app as well. So if we click on that, sorry, I'm going to go back to make sure you guys see that. If you click on this icon in the top left corner, it just looks like 3 lines. It will open up the ClubRunner app menu where you can go and see all the various different options that are available. So you'll see that we have some things like club members, which will be our club directory, as well as club executives, club stories, club events, et cetera, et cetera. So to navigate around the ClubRunner app, all you really need to do is open up this menu and click on the item that you do want to visit. So for now, we'll click on Club Executive just so we can show you what this page looks like. So we click on Club Executives and we give it a moment to load, and you can see that we now have a listing of all of our club's current year executives. And just like in the member directory, if we click on one of their names, it'll bring us up their profile. And it'll function exactly the same as we showed you earlier. Clicking on their email address or their home address will open it up in another application for your device, and you'll be able to see that information or send them a quick email right from the app. So going back, you may have also noticed this the year here. You can use this to select the year that you're viewing. So if you want to view a past year's club executives, you can do that. Just tap on the back arrow and it will load all of that information. So you can see we went back to the 2019-2020 Rotary year, and we have this information available as well. So moving on, if you want to see any of your club stories or your club news, that is exactly where you'll want to be going, to the club stories section. So clicking on this, you can see we do have a list of some stories here. This list will be refreshed just the same way as your member directory would. Whenever there's a new one, it should update automatically. If for any reason it does not, you can click on that refresh icon once again. So if we just want to read one of these stories, we can go ahead and we can tap on one of the story names, and it will load that story up onto our onto our device. And we can scroll through and we can read it whenever we want, because again, all this information is saved on your device. So that's essentially it for stories. It's very simple. And any news or stories that your club puts out will appear in this list, and you can read them as you see fit. So going on to the next one. If your club is a club that likes to have a lot of meetings, or they have a lot of different events, sometimes it can be hard to keep track of those things. So we've also added in the ability to essentially have a list all of these events or these meetings for you, so that you can very easily go through and you can view all this information as well. So if we go ahead and we tap on Club Events in the app menu, and once it finishes loading, we will have a list of all of our upcoming meetings or upcoming events for the club. So if we can just scroll through and we can see that we do have a bunch of different meetings here. And it works exactly the same as some of the other menus. Simply tapping on one of the icons, or sorry, one of the items in the list will bring up that page where you can see some of a bunch of the information for the event itself. So you can see, Shawn made this virtual cooking class event earlier on in the day, so we can see all of this information that was included in there. And you can just, if any of you are wondering, you can go ahead and you can register with the application. There will be, for any events or meetings that have registrations enabled, there will be this blue button at the bottom that says register, as you can see. If you go ahead and you tap on that icon, you'll be brought directly to your club's website, where you can go and you can register through the website. So if we wanted to register, we can click on Register Me. We can enter in our information, and we just go through the process of registering for the event. So going back to our application, you may have also noticed this search bar and this other icon that's showing here. If you wanted to search for a specific event, or there was an event that they're going on in a period in a certain time range that you wanted to make sure was going on, you can use these options to look through it. So if we just tap on that search button and we type in our virtual cooking class, you'll see that it will filter out all of the other results and show that virtual cooking class. And it will also, and this icon up here, if you tap on it, it will let you search through a specific time frame. So we'll search for everything that is within the current year, and we want to see. We just want to see all the events that are happening in August. So we're going to set it to the end date to August 31st, 2020, and we'll set this to the 1st of August. And we'll click go. And as you can see, it now pulls up every single event that we have within the month of August. So you can use these two tools to search through all of your events, just to make sure that you have everything, and so that you can find the information that you want very quickly. So now if we want to move on to the next section, we have this My Club icon that's here as well. So with this My Club, if we tap on it, you can see that it brings up all of our club's information. There are a couple other options that are here. So for example, we can see our current year president, we can see our district governor. And with these two buttons here, we do have direct links to our club's website or the district's website as well as any other additional meeting information that they have included as well. And just like you could access all of this information through the menu, there are some buttons down here at the bottom so that you can quickly access it from this page as well. So if we click on members, it will bring us directly to our member directory. If we click on club executives, it will bring us directly to our list of club current year executives, and you can of course switch between the various different years. And with this events button down at the bottom, we can see all of our upcoming events as well. So if we just click on the events one, it will bring up that events page just as we were on. If we click on executives, it'll bring us up to that executives page as well. And our our member directory will bring us to the member directory. So that's essentially it for this My Club tab. Next, another one of the big ones that I like to tell everyone about is the My Attendance tab. This option is what will allow you to keep track of all of your attendance data for the Rotary year, for the Rotary year, as well as some other Rotary years as well. So you can see after tapping on that option, you can see that we don't have the greatest attendance records for this current Rotary year. You can see that we've had 2 meetings, but we've actually missed both of them. So that can be some important information. If we do go back to the previous Rotary year by clicking on this left arrow up at the top of the screen, it will load all of the information for our previous Rotary year as well. And we can continue going back, or we can view all the previous information that was available. So up at the top here, you can see that there have been a total of 26 meetings, and we have attended a total of 18 of them. And if moving down the page just slightly, you can see our year-to-date attendance in a percentage. So we have a 69.23% attendance rating, an actual attendance rating. So this will be for the meetings that we attended, that we actually attended, while the 69.23% of the reported attendance, this one takes into consideration any makeups that you may have applied. Right now, we don't have any, so the percentages is essentially the same. But that will let you differentiate between how many you've actually attended versus how many, or versus your attendance record with your makeups accounted for. And if you wanted to make sure of any specific meeting as well, you can scroll through this list to find a specific date for any of your meetings, and just to make sure. So you can see that on January 3rd, 2020, we had missed a meeting. December 20th, 2019, we were able to attend. But then again, on December 6th, 2019, we had missed that meeting. There's also this makeups button here. If you click on that, you'll see a list of all of your bank makeups. Right now, we don't have any, but if we were to, they will be listed here, and you'll be able to differentiate between which one, all of your banked makeups, as well as the makeups that have been applied. So this is one of those features that I like to put out there for just about everyone, because I know a lot of people like to make sure that they have their attendance records pretty high, and they like to make sure that they're there for their meetings. So this is a good way to make sure that you're on top of it, and so that you can track exactly how you've been performing in your attendance record, for a lack of a better term. Especially coupled with our club events page, you'll be able to get that rating pretty high. So that's just about everything for our club. For on the club side of things. Additionally, there are a bunch of district options that are available. So instead of just having your club information, you can look out for information throughout the district as well. So under this district menu that you see here, there is also the club listing, the district executives listing, district stories, and district events. And each one of these options, they all essentially function the same as the club counterparts, except for that the information will be pulled from the district itself. The only really big main difference between these is this club listing. If you click on club listing here, it will load up a page of all of the different clubs in your district, and you can see all of their meeting information. So you can see that our Blue Village Club here, they meet at Mondays at 8 p.m. And you can just go around and you can see all the clubs within the district. And if you wanted to, say, find some contact information for some members within these clubs, you can do that as well. Just tap on one of the club names. So for example, we will go to Purple Metro down here, and we'll be able to see all of their information. You'll be able to get a link to their club website and any contact information for the club itself. But down here at the bottom, we do have these options: members, executives, and events, like we did see earlier on our own club information page. So if we click on club executives, we can find some of the club executives for that club itself. So for this year, they haven't been doing too good of a job of recording their information. So if we click on here, we can see their information. So we can see this, and we'll see the information for their secretary that they have listed here. Again, we can go ahead and we can see all the district events, or sorry, this is for the club specifically. You can see all the club events here as well. So if we wanted to go and see some of their information or attend some of their events, we can do that as well. Clicking on it will bring up that information, and we will be able to register just the same. And again, if you did want to find some contact information for the members themselves, you can go ahead and you can click this members option, and it will bring up some of the list of our members. So you can see here that we do have information that is for these members in other clubs. And I did want to stress again that if you do not feel comfortable sharing your information, you can go in through the privacy settings of your member profile on the actual desktop or on our laptop website, not through the mobile application. You can change your privacy settings so that you can hide some of this information that you don't feel comfortable with. So we can go back, and we can go back. We can keep going back, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to explore some of the various other options very quickly, as they do all function the same. So if we click on district executives, we can see our executives for the district itself. So clicking on each one of these names, you'll have all the information just as you would previously. For district stories, you'll be able to click on here and you'll be able to find any of the district's news or they're just stories that they've put out for you. So you can go ahead and you can keep up with the district as well. So clicking on one of these will function just the same as it would for your club. It'll bring up all that information and you can read through it whenever you feel like. And then once again, for district events, functions the same. We click on district events and we'll see all of our upcoming district events as well. And it'll work just the same. You click on it, view the information, and then you can register for it. And then that's just about it for this district section as well. I did want to throw an extra little piece of information out there for you guys. If your club uses the district's website and you don't have your own subscription, you won't have access to some of the features that a subscribed club would. So this may change how you can see some of the features within the mobile application. So for example, the My Attendance feature down on the menu, this won't be available to some people or to some clubs, as they don't have their own website with ClubRunner, and they'll be logging in through the district's website, where they won't be able to necessarily track that information. So if you don't see that My Attendance option, that could very well be a reason why. There may also be one other reason why it may not be appearing, and that's just simply because you don't have any meetings for that Rotary year. If it's not showing up and you don't have any meetings, it won't appear there unless a meeting has been created for your club. And that just about wraps up a bunch of the different features for the mobile application. We've gone through just about everything that's available. I hope you guys enjoy that, and we'll try to get to some questions that you guys may have.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Michael, and thank you for answering that question about the My Attendance. I know that was a popular question, and you are right. The club does have to be a subscriber, and they do have to have some meetings set up for the current year. So let's go ahead and go through some of the other questions that came up here. We have a question from George. If you log into the mobile app, if you close it, do you have to keep logging back in?
So for the most part, you won't have to do that. Some devices may operate slightly differently. If we do close it, so we can do that very quickly for you here. So I'm just going to quickly close our application. And if we navigate back to our homepage, you can see we have the ClubRunner application just sitting here on our homepage. We didn't log out or anything. If we go ahead and we click on it, it will take them a second to load and we'll be brought right back. So if you close it, you will not be logged out.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Michael. And there was another question here from Tom. So Tom mentioned that they opened up a member profile on the app and they did not see that add contact button. So I can take this one, Michael. So if the add contact button at the bottom does not appear, then that means that the contact has already been added to the device. So just double check, go to your contact or your phone book on the device and make sure that that member is there. So it does check before displaying that button.
That's correct.
Okay. Perfect. Okay, so we do have another question, a common question here. So in terms of searching for members from other clubs, do we have a master search or is it just the going through the individual clubs?
So for this will be going through individual clubs themselves. So you may want to know what clubs they are individually. So you can search through. You can use the search bar up here to search for the individual clubs themselves. So you can kind of sort that out easily that way. But you will need to go through the club listing itself.
Perfect. And one thing actually I do want to add to the previous question about the contact button not appearing. Another potential reason would be that the settings for the mobile app does not allow access to the contact books or the phone book. So another thing to check is the permissions on the app and make sure that is enabled.
That is correct. That is an important thing to do.
Okay, Michael, we have another common question here. Some people are saying, how do I refresh the data on the mobile app?
So sometimes if your information isn't updated or you notice that there is some old information that is appearing there, you can go ahead and you can refresh it. I believe I mentioned this earlier, but along any of the pages that you are on, you should, at the top of the page where you can select to access your club menu, on the other side, the top right, you will see this circle icon that looks like some arrows just kind of going in a circle. If you click on that, it will refresh the information and it will re-download all of that from ClubRunner, so you'll have the most up-to-date information with you.
Perfect. Okay, Michael, I'm just going through some more questions here. Okay, so there's a question about updating the app. Could you just briefly talk about what would be the process of updating the app?
So just in case there's an update, I just want to make sure I have that right. In case there's an update to the application, you guys want to have the most up to date. This may depend. This kind of changes depending on your device, but for the most part, on Android or iOS devices, if you navigate to the application store for the respective devices and you search up ClubRunner, and you'll be able to update it from there. There'll be just an update button. Click on it. It'll download all the newest applications. If it doesn't update automatically, as a lot of the newer devices do.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay, we have another question here. Where is the information coming from? Is this information the same that we see through the member area?
Yeah, so it is the same information. Once you first load up the mobile application and you get some of this data on your device, it's downloading it directly from the member area, from your club's website, and it will be stored on your device so that you can access it whenever you would like. And again, if some of the data is incorrect or it's outdated, you can refresh it to re-download that information.
Okay.
These are some great questions, guys. Keep them coming.
And another question that just wanted confirmation. In order to access the club information and the district information, do you need two separate mobile apps, or is it both on the same app?
Nope, they're both on the same application. If you download the one, you'll have access to all of the information for your district as well as your club. So you can see here, it's all available within that one menu. So you don't need to worry about downloading multiple applications. It's just the one.
Perfect. Okay. And I think we've got about all of the big questions here answered.
Those were all some very good questions.
Okay, actually, this is another good question that we can cover that did come up
Okay.
a couple of times just
Okay,
before
go for
we
it.
close off here. So some people are asking about these stories. How do we control which stories appear on the mobile app? In order to do that, the stories that actually appear on the stories list page would be the stories that appear on the mobile app. So when you are creating the story in ClubRunner, if you're going through and editing the stories, make sure that they are set to appear on the stories list page, and that will ensure that they also appear on the mobile app as well.
That's correct.
Okay, we also have another common question from Frank here asking about texting, specifically group texting. At the moment, the mobile app does not support the group texting, but we are currently working on some additional functionality for notifications. So it's something we are aware of and we are looking into further. And I think that wraps up our Q&A session. I think we've got most of the questions here. So I'll pass it back to Michael just to wrap up. Thanks, Michael.
Yeah, thank you very much, Shawn. Those were some great questions. We did get a lot of information for the mobile app out of the way. And I just wanted to thank you guys for taking part of this ClubRunner on the Go session. And I'm just going to pass it back on to our MC, Mickey.